drive for Grey Cup Saturday, live from the Olympic Stadium, where East and West are gearing up for the 89th Canadian Football League Classic. Thanks for watching. Now let's send you to Montreal and your host, Brian Williams.
Montreal, a grand World Cup of Soccer. It was held in Korea. Time for artistic gymnastics, the World Championships in artistic gymnastics. Today we have the apparatus finals. No Canadians in this event, but nonetheless some outstanding competition. Artistic gymnastics on Sports Saturday, the World Championships.
It is a castle dark and deep in the middle of the bustling European urban landscape. Welcome once more to Ghent and the World Gymnastics Championships on CBC. I'm Scott Russell. This is Gravenstein Castle. Once it was the fortress of Flemish counts whose warriors defended the land. They were a breed of specialists. And now, hundreds of years later, on our final day at the World Championships, warriors with different kinds of skills, but skills no less searing, will joust for gymnastics gold. For so long, the pride of tiny Bulgaria, Jordan Jovchev's strength is legendary. Now, can he strike gold? America's Sean Towson narrowly missed the all-around title, fell on his sword. His armor intact, it's time to shine. Ivana Vankov loves the high wire act, team gold, individual silver. Still is sport's popular prince. The Queen of Hearts is Russian Svetlana Horkina. In some ways, there is no heir to her throne. Brazilian Danielle Hippolito is on the verge of a breakthrough and maybe a place on the medal podium. Romania walks the line, and they've built a fortress with the balance beam, led by Andrea Radican. Today, the individual apparatus finals means the athletes sharpen their skills at the World Gymnastics Championships from Ghent, Belgium. The event finals are hugely popular to the devout followers of gymnastics. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to our coverage of the World Championships from Belgium. As always, Laurie Strong-Ballard is on side, and this time, Laurie, there are 10 gold medals at stake, and there's no reason for anybody to hold anything back right now.
The event finals are all about great, innovative gymnastics. Over the last decade, we've seen a change in the importance of the event finals. The new format allows countries to bring some of their event specialists who maybe only contribute on 2 or 3 events in the team competition, but almost guarantee them some sort of medal here in the finals. Specialists like Sylvester Cholani, the Olympic rings champion, and Erzika, who is incredible on the pommel horse, and from Latvia, Virov, who's so powerful on the floor exercise. On the women's side, Horkina and Radican could steal all of the gold, but they will see a challenge from a beam and bar specialist, Ezheva from Russia, and Chusovitna will go for her first vault world title.
One of the great things about this event is that it's wide open geographically. The event finals promises that maybe a different cast of characters could come into play.
You're right, Scott. It's not just about the powerhouse nations, China, Russia, and Romania. Countries like Latvia, Greece, Cuba, and even as small as Uzbekistan have a chance for a medal here. The bottom line is the parity is great. There are more countries involved, and there's a lot at stake.
Well, there are 10 gold medals at stake for sure in this one. We'll begin with the women on the vault. The men go to the floor exercise. Floor X for the men, no music, Laurie, but both skill and artistry at a premium.
And here are some of the requirements for men's floor. Every 4 years, the governing body for gymnastics adjusts and change the rules to make it more challenging for the athletes. And this new code really rewards the big tumbling. There's now a Super E, which on floor gives you 4/10 a bonus.
And able to deliver that is Jordan Jovchev, 28 years old, of Bulgaria. He won a bronze on the floor exercise at the Olympic Games in Sydney. Always seems to be knocking at the door, but never right through it.
And Scott, he's in fantastic shape right now. I've never seen him look better. Take a look at this pass. A layout Thomas, very nicely done. He is first up in this finals, and it's a hard spot to be in. Sometimes it's hard for your score to stick through 8 competitors. He has to do a great job, and this is where he really shines. He'll keep a nice impression for the judges right here. Beautiful floor work.
He came from a long way back to win the bronze medal in the individual all-around competition. He finished on the floor exercise and was absolutely brilliant.
taking his last deep breath. He'll show some flexibility elements right here. He has to hold it for 2 seconds. That's one of his hold elements, a requirement. Taking a little extra rest because he has a tough last pass. Oh, very nice. A quick double layout, strong difficulty, clean landings. It's a good start-off score. Take a look at the Thomas. He does a full twist, spots the floor, does a half into a dive roll. So difficult, and that can be dangerous.
First volley from Jordan Jovchev, and a great score for him, a 9.55. Now here is one of the gold medalists from the Olympic Games on the floor exercise, Igor Virov of Latvia. That was a surprise gold medal in Sydney from the 23-year-old.
He's an incredible tumbler, and he nailed his landings in Sydney. That's what he needs to do right here. Combination pass, 1.5 front layout full to a front 1.5. Nice landing. Two and a half front tuck to a front full. Another clean pass. Gaining valuable combination points here. That's the tucked Thomas. We saw Jovchev do it in the laid out position. He truly is a great tumbler, nice clean landings, but he does lack some of the finesse that we saw in Jovchev, and of course from the great Alexei Nemov on this event.
Yes, used to seeing Alexei Nemov of Russia, floor exercise final. Remember going back to Vitaly Sherbo of Belarus and the great standard that he set on this exercise.
He's taking his time. He heard the whistle. He has 10 seconds to finish. This last pass is important. He's overtime. Full in, one step on the landing, but that overtime will only be a 10th or so deduction. Not a huge one. He's better off to take his time and hit that last pass. You can see him looking for the floor, and each of these twisting elements ready to punch into the next one. Nice combination work and a solid landing.
Gold medalist from the Olympic Games can't catch Jordan Jovchev here. 9.425 for Igor Virov of Latvia. Now here is the American veteran, 27-year-old Steve McCain of Latvia. 5 for Igor Virov of Latvia. Now here is the American veteran, 27-year-old Steve McCain of Los Angeles, California.
Ooh, almost missed his punch into his third element there in that combination. Fought it out. Another layout Thomas. That's the third one we've seen in this competition. In the layout position, it's worth an E, and that's 2/10 of bonus. That's why it's very popular. Excellent floor work. That is a requirement, but he's also gaining valuable bonus here. They need to get 1.2 in bonus.
Steve delivered a strong floor exercise for the Americans as they won silver in the team competition.
There's the whistle. This is his last pass. Double tuck. Okay, one step on the landing. A little bit weak on that last tumbling pass. The difficulty wasn't as high as some of the others, but a good, solid routine. Here's the problem where he punched a little bit early into that third element, but he fought it out, landed in a tucked position, but held it.
Can't catch Jovchev. 9.312 for Steve McCain of the United States. Another Latvian now, Evgeny Sapronenko, 23 years old, from the city of Riga. Had a silver on the vault at the last World Championships in Tianjin, China.
Crooked, and he steps out of bounds. 1/10 deduction. You know, we talked earlier about the parity and that, you know, many countries will be represented here. Latvia is one of those. They don't have the depth of, say, a Russia or China, but they have a handful of very talented athletes, and they're so strong on floor and vault. There's the tuck Thomas. That's worth a D in the tuck position, 1/10 a bonus. He's doing it as a side tumbling pass. There's his hold element, struggling just slightly. He has to hold it for 2 seconds.
Jordan Jovchev has the lead at a 9.55.
Finishing with a full in, and he's short, puts his hands down. That's a fall, 5/10 deduction.
Crowd here focused on one event only at the Flanders Sports Arena. This time it's floor exercise.
Started off with a slight problem in his combination pass, wasn't squaring up his twisting elements. That caused the direction problem and the step out of bounds, and then the hands down at the end. Big deductions.
Yes, Sapernenko will pay the price of penalty, 8.962 for the Latvian gymnast. Now one of the young guns, Marian Dragulescu of Romania, only 20 years old from Bucharest.
And boy, can this guy tumble.
Narrowly missed a medal in Sydney. He was 6th on the floor exercise.
Double layout with a full twist in the second rotation. He just floats through that very difficult element. And he's not done yet. Oh, wow. Oh. Foot slipped right there. There'll be a slight deduction.
Tried to punch that right out.
Very light on his feet. Very springy. Lacks a little bit of the flexibility that we saw in Jovchev. And of course that finesse and flair. Finishing with a very difficult full in, full out. A little short on that landing. There's Jovchev looking on.
And he thinks he's got the gold medal based on Dragulescu's performance.
Scott, I think this is the most amazing tumbling of the day, especially this pass. The double layout with the full twist in the second rotation, but he had a couple landing errors.
Well, look at this. He gets a 9.55 to even Jordan Jovchev, and so there is a tie. Jovchev of Bulgaria, Dragulescu of Romania share the gold medal. Igor Virov, the Olympic gold medalist, settles for 3rd here in Belgium. A veteran and a youngster proudly drape gold around their massive necks for Jovchev. Finally, a victory.
I went first, and you know, it's hard to wait when all the good gymnasts have to go. But I think I did a great job, and I'm just a little not disappointed. But I went out in the first, you know, in the first series, out of bound. But it was good, great. I'm happy. You know, it's hard to just keep up, and just, I guess, the older you get, the better. But I'm very happy. So.
The castle of the counts in the heart of Ghent. Still much more skill to tally. The women vault when we return.
Energizer, an official sponsor of Canada's national freestyle ski team, wants to send you and your friends to Salt Lake City. This is your chance to see the best in the world compete. You could win a trip for 4 to Salt Lake City, including airfare and accommodation. To enter, pick up a copy of the November issue of TV Guide and send in the ballot. Or visit the website, tvguidelive.com. The power of competition, the power of Energizer. Do you have the bunny inside?
Yeah.